when you stick to that one particular target audience, instead of reaching everybody, it always trickles. You'll have a family member or a friend who mentions it to somebody. Somebody else will show your stuff.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street Today is your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship and is providing acute resources and support pertinent to small business owners and the COVID-19 pandemic. As a premier media outlet for Black brands, Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, we look forward to your show ideas and comments. Catch us offline via the Black Wall Street Today podcast, available wherever you stream content. For more information, visit us at blackbrand.biz or via Facebook and Instagram at blackbrandbiz and at Black Wall Street Today. It's Black Wall Street Today. Greetings. Welcome back. It's the 99th edition of Black Wall Street Today. Our first guest is Malaika Karriem. She's an award-winning public relations professional and holds a master's degree in strategic public relations from Virginia Commonwealth University. For the last 6 years, Malaika has had the pleasure of working with clients in both the public and private sectors. She specializes in brand management, storytelling, social media, and marketing. Welcome, Malaika. How are you?
Hi, Blair. Thanks so much for having me.
I am thrilled to have you. You focus on such an important aspect of business, the PR piece. I would love it if you would just kind of share when does a business really need to start working with a public relations professional?
I'm so glad you asked this question because I think this is something that a lot of business owners ask themselves all the time. And I even find with my clients that they're either engaging with me at the beginning, the middle, or well into their career. And why they engage with me are for different reasons. But I would specifically say that for businesses that are new, that are just launching, it's always great to have a PR person come in early and often. A lot of times people think that public relations professionals or marketers are great to have come in on the back end. So once you've got the vision, once you've gotten going, but really your brand and what you want your business to stand for is something that really needs to be communicated from start to finish. So it's in conception of, what are your products? What are your services? What are you offering? And what is that message going to be? How are you showcasing your brand? So what images are you using? How are you reaching your customers? Are you using social media? Are you using traditional media? So that's print advertisement, radio, television. So really doing a study and figuring out, who is your target audience? What's the best route to reach them? And then how are you going to create content that's going to really make sure that what you're trying to say is being effectively communicated? And those are all things that I do in my job. In addition to also working with brands and businesses who are established, who have been working, but maybe due to times like COVID, where we really all had to kind of switch the way that we operate and the way that we work, what are some ways to refresh my brand? How can I present a new way to showcasing a product that's maybe been a staple for my business or my company? And so those are some things that I also come in and help to consult with my clients on as well.
So important. Oftentimes, I relate this statistic very frequently, right? Only about 4% of Black-owned businesses have employees, right? So very often, business owners are trying to figure things out on their own, right? They have no idea necessarily who all of the key team members are that would be required to build a successful brand. So I like that you say, consult with a PR person early so that you can develop that strategy. I mean, it sounds to me like you're saying consult with a PR person right at the very beginning, right? Before you even do a thing, let's talk PR.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. And there may be a bit of a need initially. You know, you're trying to maximize your funding. You're trying to cut costs in some areas to make sure that you're really pouring money into areas that you feel are going to grow your business. But don't skimp out on the PR dollars. And I say that because, you know, as you can continue to leverage certain things in the beginning of your business, it'll only get better and it will continue to grow. And so, you know, we can, you know, do our own social media. We can do our own photography, our own videography. We can even kind of do our own, you know, surveys and think about how are some of the best ways to reach our customers and our consumers. But to really have other people who are professionals in that area to be able to come in and really help you, you know, use your time in the areas that you're the expert in, you know, those areas where only you can do this, and it allows you to really spearhead and be CEO of your venture. And so having someone like me come in and do that work for you is huge.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, right? That's one of the things that I've been saying in my business is I'm going to focus on the things that only I can do. I think that just bears repeating. And so, wow, tremendous. So go through kind of what's included in the suite of services that you provide.
Absolutely. So I am a public relations boutique, and we say boutique because a lot of times another misconception is that the services that are provided by public relations professionals are a big bite to your pocket, which is true sometimes, but for businesses like myself who are really here to support businesses, especially Black-owned and minority-owned businesses, as a minority-owned business myself as a woman and a Black woman, that's very important to me. And so we specialize in consulting, event marketing, media training, creative services, so that's your photography, your videography, your graphic design, web content development, in addition to also like training and workshops. So media training is also a big one. You know, as you start your business and you start to gain momentum and more people start to see what you're doing and get interested, making sure that you're ready for that moment when it's your time to shine. So whether it's an interview or making sure that you have all of your key messages ready to go for when people are asking you those questions about what you offer and the services that you have, that you feel prepared and confident to do those things. Those are all some of the services that I offer.
I'm going to be calling you. No, sorry, this is great. I'm running through my personal Rolodex, but I think it's important because, again, you know, we don't often think about the professionals who are available to assist us with these things. You know, we feel like in the instances that we have to go it alone because no one can understand or articulate our business. But to know that there is a specialization in this kind of work, and that a professional such as yourself could come alongside us to kind of grow us in that area, I just think it's a tremendous benefit.
Yeah.
So let me ask.
I like to say, oh, go ahead.
You first.
No, I was just going to say that we like to say that, you know, you all run the show and we're just here in the background to support you. And I think one of the things that I just wanted to note that are some common misconceptions between PR and marketing is, you know, marketing is making sure that what you have is reaching the consumer that you intend it for, that it visually looks appealing, that it captures that audience, which is a little bit of what I do as a PR person. But really what I'm doing is managing perception. And so what I'm doing is making sure that your brand is saying exactly what you wanted to say and reaching the people that you wanted to reach. Because at the end of the day, if you think your brand is great, that's awesome. But if other people don't think that your brand is great, then that's where the problem lies. So I really come in to make sure that everything basically is coming across as you intended.
Yeah, beautiful. I want to ask you about COVID-19. And clearly businesses are having to, in midair, right, make a significant shift in terms of how they're doing things. What value are your services providing now?
Absolutely, that's a great question.
Is it?
So I mentioned.
Go ahead.
I think it is because you know it's. Again, part of it is that for PR, it's a dynamic industry. And so a lot of what we were doing before, you know, we're still able to do. It hasn't been much of a pivot for us.
Yes.
But in terms of how a lot of our clients and businesses are operating, it absolutely has been. So, I have a client that's a brewery. I have a client that is an advocacy group. I have a client that's in educational consulting, that's in nutritional services. And so these are industries that are kind of spanning across the gamut. And so you can imagine that all of them kind of need different services based on this time. One in particular is looking at how can I translate what would be an in-person event to something that still can be engaging virtually. So whether it's leveraging, Zoom, or trying to figure out how I can still engage with my audience on social media and in a time where really we're kind of being inundated with a lot of information, right? So how many emails do I need to be sending out at this point when people are probably all emailed out? And so those are some of the strategies that we talk through. And I tailor it literally based on what your business needs are and what you're seeing success in already and what are some areas that you are seeing that we can grow in. For the restaurant industry clients that I have, it's more so about how can we continue to translate to our customers that it's safe, right? Safety is the biggest thing right now, is making sure that you're still able to operate, but you can make sure that your customers feel that you can do so safely. And then the other thing, too, is how do I continue to create engaging content that's reaching people right now, knowing that they're in a particular place where they may be overwhelmed, they may be stressed, and also, there's a financial burden for a lot of people right now. So, as a business where your services may be more optional for someone, if you're in retail, you're going to have people who are really trying to decide, do I need this pair of shoes or do I need this dress when I'm also trying to put food on the table or keep my family afloat? And so those are all things that we talk through. And those are services, some of those consulting services that we really brainstorm together to kind of help these businesses move forward.
Yeah, tremendous value. You mentioned the piece about safety, and I know that's something that a lot of us are having to consider. Messaging around safety, how do we, in all of our sort of public-facing platforms, how do we communicate that we're prioritizing our consumers' interest in that way? I think that's huge, and developing strategy around it certainly appropriate. Malaika, please let folks know how it is that they can contact you. Where can they learn more about your products and services?
Absolutely. So you can follow us on Instagram at Karriem_PR. So that's KARRIEM_PR. You can also visit our website at malaikakarriem.com. So that's MALAIKAKARRIEM.com. That's our website. And then lastly, feel free to shoot me an email at KarriemPR@gmail.com. And again, that's KARRIEMPR@gmail.com.
Okay, cool. I'll probably have you state that info again in just a couple minutes. We've got about 2.5 left. I would love it if you could share maybe just a few tips for a solopreneur who, I don't know, maybe just getting started. What would you say for someone that's looking to grow a business in this environment?
So the biggest advice that I could give right now, and I think this works really well for any business, but particularly right now as well, since, again, we've been talking about COVID, is that when you're starting your business and as you're growing your business, remember that you're not trying to reach everybody. There can be this misconception that the more people you reach, the better your brand will be in terms of growth and productivity, but that actually is not necessarily always true. What I always advise my clients to do is think about who your ideal client is. Think about the person who you believe comes through your store the most based on data that you have, or who's buying your products or using your services. And so instead of trying to figure out how do I message in a way where everybody can see what I have going on, is impacted by what I have going on, reach the people you know are really in need of your services. And so it's more about that quality instead of quantity. So even on social media, when you're curating content, when you're thinking about what you want your consumers to know, don't go for everybody. again, go for the people who you know, one, need your services or your product, and two, are going to be interested in what you have to say. And that's not only going to help you maximize your time, but it's going to help you leverage your resources and your materials, which I think we're all looking to do right now. And it's also going to help you win and succeed in that particular area. And then as you continue to grow momentum there, you'll see that continue to grow, because it's just like the splatter effect, right? If you throw, a tennis ball dipped in paint at a wall, there's always that splatter that happens around that nucleus or that one initial impact. And so that's pretty much what happens when you stick to that one particular target audience instead of reaching everybody. It always trickles. You'll have a family member or a friend who mentions it to somebody. Somebody else will show your stuff. So that's really my biggest piece of advice right now.
I love it. We've got to go to break. MalaikaKarriem.com. Karriem _ PR on Instagram, and I'll certainly share that information a bit later in the program as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This show is brought to you by Positive Vibes Incorporated, our consulting services. We do credit fixes, tax resolution, we lend private money to real estate investors, and we do debt consolidations. Basically, we put money in your pocket when you need money. We put money in your pocket when you need money. 757-932-0177. Throughout the United States, credit fixes, tax resolution, lending private money to real estate investors, and debt consolidation. 757-932-0177. 757-932-0177.
Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said, and I will continue to say, that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party.
Phenomenal. Hey, yo, when I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.